What's up, y'all, and welcome to a new episode of the Sky Diaries podcast. I just want to say welcome back if you are returning, and welcome to all my new listeners. This is the place where we talk that real talk about life and growth, because through the journey of wanting to do better in your life, it can get hard, it can get challenging, and I'm here to support you and cheer you on and just give some advice and some motivation for you today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and whether you're listening to it on Substack, TikTok, YouTube, whatever the case may be, just welcome. And in today's episode, it is called Stop Texting Potential. Now, in episode 28, we're focused on letting go of people who show you who they are. Now, I did do a previous podcast episode about this called Believe Them the First Time, if you want to go check that out. But in this episode, we're going to be focused on why you need to really believe the person that is showing you who they are, because ultimately those will be the same people that will hold you back. When you hold on to the potential of a person, you aren't really doing justice to yourself, but you're definitely not doing justice to that other person, because you're not seeing them for who they really are. As a good person, I feel like a lot of the times good people will try to look for the good in other people and will only focus on the good and really honestly excusing all the bad. It's like if a person, right, if a friend or a relationship, if 80% of that person is tearing you down or not being a good person to you or not showing up to you or whatever the case may be, but 20%, and when I mean 20% is like when they only feel like texting you back, or when they only feel like giving you the attention, or if it's like if it's like you had to like go to them and tell them to stop doing something, which should be common sense, but they only change it after you said something, and it only lasts like a few weeks until they go back to what they was doing in the first place. That's that 20% of the good that you're focusing on, and we want to strip away from that. We don't want to only focus on the good. We need to take people fully how they are, because when you do that, then when you do that, that's when you can actually place people in your life at the right, you could place people where you want them in your life when you see them for who they really are. When you want to sugarcoat stuff and only focus on what you want to focus on, only the good part of that person, that's when things start to get messed up. And I think a lot of the times, like friend groups and stuff like that stuff gets messed up because someone has brought in someone that they were only really supposed to be associates with. Like, I think a lot of the times that's when things start to get messed up, because you calling someone your friend that has only shown up in your life as an associate. You're calling someone your boyfriend, but has only shown you tendencies of a friend. They don't even show you like boyfriend qualities. You got to start placing people in your life where they're meant to be placed at. And it starts from really seeing who they are. For me, I think a lot of the times I would like make excuses for people, whether if I knew them for a long time or whether I just felt like really connected to them and I wanted to give them a lot of sympathy or a lot of empathy, a lot of that. And honestly, every single time, like, that hurt me in the end. It hurt me time after time. But at the end of the day, me being hurt, it was only on me. Like, it was truly only on me. It was my fault. I knew. It's like it was right in front of your face. You knew this person wasn't a good person. You knew this person has never shown up for you the way you needed them to show up for you before. It's like you knew all this, right? You chose to focus only on the good. Now that backfired on you, because it's like, at what point do you expect something different? When someone is showing you repeatedly how much they really don't care about you, at what point do you take away the love and you take away the delusion and you really see it for what it is? It's like I heard the other day, it's like, how many times are you going to make excuses for the people that are supposed to love you? It's like, I hate when people try to like put a title on something, but they can't match up to that title. Why are you calling me your girlfriend, but you're treating me like shit? You feel me? Like, it doesn't align. The actions don't align. You gotta place people where they're meant. It's like, but also it's like when you get into relationships with people, right? And that person has only ever shown up to you as a friend, has never shown boyfriend qualities or good boyfriend tendencies, and only shown you like the bad part, but maybe sometimes here and there they shown you like good pieces or good personality traits. Now, I do believe, like, I genuinely believe there is good in everybody. I think it's just different people that brings that out of certain people, and just because someone is good to you doesn't mean that they're good to everybody. I think I think people just reflect who they're around, and you gotta just take it for what it is. You gotta take people for who they are, and you gotta take it and be okay with it. I always say, like, my job isn't to change you. I genuinely don't want to change nobody. Like, you are good. Stay how you are. Truly. And honestly, I feel like if, we're close, I'm going to come to you as your friend and be like, hey, like, I noticed a different change lately. Like, what's going on? Or something. But at the end of the day, though, when it all comes down to it, you can be exactly who you are. Be who you are. Be just like that. Act the way you want to act. It's not my job to change you. I don't got no kids. Like, none of that. You feel me? The only life I'm in control of is mine. But guess what? It doesn't mean I gotta stick around. It doesn't mean I gotta stay in that energy. It doesn't mean I gotta stick with the bullshit that you giving me. It doesn't mean that. Now, that doesn't mean that. Take people for who they are, and when they reveal who they are, you got to get up and leave. It's like once you value your time and once you value yourself, it's like you'll be okay with letting people go. You'll eventually get used to it. It'll become second nature. Like, at the first sign of some BS, you'll really be like, oh no, like, never mind, I'm out of there, because you learn what you can and can't tolerate. Like, for me, I know for a fact, like, when it comes to relationships, I can't tolerate people that aren't considerate. I feel like people can, like, understand you. Like, you can have good communication in a relationship, even good comprehension. Relationships still fail if it's no compassion, if it's no consideration. Like, if you can't even consider that person, no matter what you're going through, like, that's just not the person that you're meant to be with. That's just not that. No, I can't make you consider my feelings. I can't make you think about me. I can't make you be a loyal person. Like, that's not my job. It's not my job to make you a loyal friend or a loyal person. My job is to be loyal to myself, show up for myself, and at the first sign of some BS, get the hell up out of there, because it's like, I'm not going through the same things again. And let me tell you this right now, when a person keep doing what they doing, when you go to a person and you tell them how much, like, a situation is hurting you or how much they hurt you, and they keep doing it, you can't expect change from someone that doesn't see anything wrong with what they're doing. And honestly, that be the main reason why relationships and friendships fail, because people don't be seeing what they doing is wrong. They don't see no wrong in what they're doing. So they take it out on you or whatever the case may be. And it's like, you gotta be able to be like, you know what? I see that you are taking this out on me. You gotta read. You honestly really do gotta read through the BS that people will tell you. Because people will really sit up and in your face and try to sell you some type of lie or try to paint you this certain type of picture. And you gotta see past it. You gotta see their actions. You gotta see how they talk to you. And especially when things aren't easy. It's easy for a person to sit up there and be nice to you when their life is going great. But honestly, it's like, let's see how that person acts when they're having a bad day. How does someone act when things aren't going their way? That really shows their true character. That really shows that person. I feel like even when I was going through a breakup, I was still checking on my friends. I was still making sure my peoples was good. Because it's like me, I'm the type of person, like, misery don't love company over here. Misery don't love company over here. I never was the type to be like, oh yeah, if I'm going through something, I'm going to tear someone else down, but you got to realize that there are people out there like that. I think for a long time, me being a good person, it was like I had just automatically assumed that because I was a good person, everyone else was a good person too. Once you get out of that mindset, once you stop thinking that everyone else is like you and everyone else will treat you like you treat other people, that's when you start really seeing how people really move. When you really start seeing how people really move and what people's true intentions really is, that's when you feel more comfortable to move how you move. It's like, okay, no, I know I'm not going to tolerate this. You cut off. Okay, I could tolerate that here. Or I'm going to have a conversation with you. If something doesn't change, I got to get up out of there because I see what you're showing me and I got to take it in a nutshell and keep going, because people, those type of people will really be the ones that tear you down. You know, a lot of people will hide behind a facade, but me, I always said, like, people can't hide their true colors and their true intentions for long. I don't know a single person who has successfully like BS their whole life or for too long. Like, at the end of the day, like, the truth always come out. Someone's true character always comes out. You feel me? It will always come out. But at the end of the day, it's always revealed. It's revealed with how someone talks. It reveals in like certain small situations. Like, at the end of the day, no one's life is perfect. It's not always going to be perfect. So in those moments where you see someone going through something, that's when you really like start to lean in and really see how someone handles it and see how they treat other people. Honestly, I would say, you know, me, when I'm going through something, I am the type of person that, like, you know, I'll step away because, like I said, misery don't like company over here. I'm not the type of person to bring someone down. When it comes to relationships specifically, you got to focus more on the consistency over the connection. At the end of the day, a relationship is going to have a lot of ups and downs. It's never going to be perfect. Like I said, life is never going to be perfect. But I think it's more important when not even like relationship, it's important for friends to have consistency. If your friends are constantly showing up for you, constantly supporting you, those are the people that you need to keep around. Those are the people that are genuinely there for you, because it's consistency over the connection. But essentially, the consistency builds that connection, because it's like you trust them. You know, no matter what you do, like, you're going to have support from them. Or in a relationship, you know that no matter what, how bad terms y'all are, that it's going to be a consistency there. You know, maybe it's like, you know, at the end of the day, this person is always going to make sure I'm good. This person is always going to check up on me, always make sure I'm okay, make sure I ate, whatever the case may be. Maybe no matter what, y'all make sure y'all, you know, talk before y'all go to sleep or whatever it is. You know that consistency is there. And ultimately, that consistency builds the connection, but the connection is only built from the consistency, not the other way around. Can come in and out. It can be there one day and out the next, but the consistency keeps the connection alive. Consistency is the proof you need in order to evaluate if someone should or shouldn't be in your life or not. I think if you're in a season right now and it's like you're questioning the people around you, you know, because a lot of the times we have to leave a lot of people on the way up to the top. Like, we can't bring everyone with us. And that has been something that I've really been struggling to learn, because it's like I am a type of person that wants everyone to win and wants everyone to succeed. But it's like, at the end of the day, not everyone want me to win. Not everyone want me to succeed. And that's fine. At the end of the day, I could always have love for everybody and I could always want everyone to win. You just can't win with me. You know, you just can't succeed with me sitting at my table. You know, I can still hope and wish and pray that you get your own, but it's like you can't come over here. Back to what I was saying. If you are in a season right now where it's like you are questioning the people around you, start to really see and ask yourself, are these people around me consistently being there for me? And I'm not meaning like in a day-to-day basis. Like, when it comes to me and my friendships, like, they know, like, I'm the type of friend, we definitely don't talk every day. Maybe not even every week, but I definitely make sure I check up on them. They know if they call me, it's the same Sky that they call, and we answering, we chopping it up, we kikiing, whatever the case may be. Oh, girl, or, you know, one of my homeboys, like, you got a vent, you know, I'm here for you, sis. Like, you know, back and forth, like, yeah, I'm gonna listen to you, bro. Like, that's, you know, they always know, like, Sky is always a person that you could call, and I'm gonna pick up the phone. And if I don't pick up the phone, I'm gonna pick up the phone later. I'm gonna hit you, be like, hey, you okay? But at the end of the day, it's always that consistency. The consistency built that connection. If my friends didn't think that they could come to me and talk to me, they wouldn't call me. They wouldn't be like, you know, and come to me about certain things. But it doesn't mean I gotta be there every single day. It's just like my character has built that consistency with my bonds, where it's like, you know, they feel comfortable with coming to me and talking to me, and, you know, and it's vice versa. And it's like, they don't talk to me every day, but I know if I need certain people, like, I can go to them and I can talk to them. If you honestly can't say that a person will be there for you when you need them, or it's a lack of consistency, not meaning like on a day-to-day or a weekly basis, but it's like sometimes they're there for you and sometimes they're not, or sometimes they care and sometimes you feel like they're not, or that they don't care. Those are the type of people that you may not necessarily need to cut off, but you need distance from, because I promise you, on the journey to the top, you really need people that are genuinely there for you. And the only way you will be able to get those people that are genuinely there for you, if you are able to see someone for who they really are. And when you see someone for who they really are, that it just makes it so much easier for you to build the community and build the friendships that you really want and build the relationships that you really want. I hope that this episode helped you gain more of a clear perspective, and I hope this just cleared the path to, I know it could be really, really hard on this journey up to the top, and it can be very, very hard letting people go. But I hope this kind of cleared the way for you a little bit. Hopefully it gave you some guidance. I know that cutting people off is hard, but I promise you it's much harder holding on to those bonds, knowing that it's nothing valuable there. It's harder holding on to those bonds that know that it's nothing beneficial there. Like, all you're gonna keep doing is keep being hurt and keep being back in that same situation. And when you're back into that same situation, it's because of your own doing, because you choose to go back to that person in that situation or that friendship that doesn't do nothing but diminish you and hurt you. So at the end of the day, it is up to you. It is ultimately your choice, but I just suggest like letting people go. It is so many better people out there. There are better people, there are better friends, there are better relationships. Trust me, there is better out there. There are better people out there. But every time you go back to those people that don't value you, every time you go back to those people that judge you and diminish you and don't add no value to you and just want to take from you, and really just show you who they are time and time again, those will be the people that will tear you down. Those will be the people that hold you back. And every time you go back to those people, you are losing your chance to find some people that are better, to open yourself up to different perspectives and different conversations. Like, there's people out there that you probably didn't even think that you could ever like really have a bond with and have a close connection with. There are people out there waiting for you, and they're on the other side. And I know it can be hard, and after you cut people off, it can get very depressing, but know that there is better out there. Know that I'm cheering for you. And I just want you to repeat these affirmations after me, and I'm gonna let you go. I attract people who match my energy, not drain it. I'm not fixing anyone. I'm focusing on me. I deserve effort, not excuses. And just remember, when you know your value, you stop negotiating it. I hope you learned something from today's episode. Don't forget to share it with a friend, and like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see y'all very, very soon. Love y'all. Bye.